Hello, my name is Mission Solo, and I'm an evil genius that's hacked into SoloMission's mind, and I'm about to spill the beans on all the League's 4 stuff. Tips, tricks, how the Tier 8 Relic run went for me, and all the stuff behind the scenes. I've been reading his diary. Right, okay, I'm going to stop talking in third person now. Welcome to the second channel. This video is going to serve as some sort of review of the first 4 days of Trailblazer Reloaded. Maybe a bit of advice about relics and all that sort of stuff in hindsight, and just general ramblings of a not rank 1 player. So I'm going to structure this video by going through the relics and talking about each one. Now, tier 1, day 1 choice, I was always team Trickster. It never crossed my mind to go the other two, and I think Trickster has proven to be the best option. I don't want to say for sure, because it depends on your areas, but in Elf, for example, all the smithing, crafting, that was incredible. For me, I've been loving it because I can just AFK for 6 minutes at a time, do stuff around the house, and thieving is going amazing. I don't think I've even heard of somebody picking Endless Harvest. I think these guys must be broke and have no money, because Production Prodigy was also good, especially for gems and all that jazz early on. But you know what? I feel like I've barely done any production, so I really have no regrets over my tier 1 choice. Tier 2 was a no-brainer decision for me. Globetrotter, it's good initially in the early game, but it falls off super quick. Fairy's Flight just feels like the only worthwhile pick in that tier. The next decision is to take your online safety seriously, because I, Mission Solo, can see into SoloMission's thoughts and everything, because he is not secure at all. Some of this stuff is just embarrassing, like who actually watches Ditta Bitter videos? Do not get caught lacking. Today's partner has you covered. Introducing ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is a virtual private network that encrypts your data and reroutes it through their servers, which masks your IP address. That means you're giving out way less information about yourself online, maintaining your privacy. I also use ExpressVPN in the run-up to big events so that I don't leak my IP address and open the door to DDoSers to just ruin my day. And ExpressVPN is incredibly easy to use. Look, here I currently appear in London, but I can easily switch anywhere in the world with a few clicks. Now I'm in New York. But the coolest feature of ExpressVPN is that it unlocks the potential of your streaming services. I'm in the UK and I want to watch everything everywhere all at once, but it's not available on Netflix here. Well, if I switch my locations in Turkey, there it is, and I can enjoy so much more content this way. Go to expressvpn.com/mission solo right now and get an extra 3 months off ExpressVPN for absolutely free. And then the big tier is Banker's Note versus Fire Sale. I think this is the most important decision of the whole game mode in terms of relics, and it's crazy that it's at tier 3. I mean, your style is pretty big as well, but Banker's Note, Fire Sale, man. I don't regret taking Banker's Note, but I think for the tier 8 rush, it definitely was better to take Fire Sale. The people that came first and second, Barry Hall and Coro, they both did Fire Sale, and it gives you such a massive advantage. Maybe I'm overlooking some parts of Banker's Note because it is very good quality of life, but long term, I had to pick Banker's Note. I just had to. By the way, if you didn't know, on the Old School RuneScape wiki, you can stalk people, because if you turn on WikiSync, it tells you which tasks you've completed. It hides the ones you don't have. It's like the in-game one, but I actually like this better because I can genuinely do 2 things at once. So you hide your completed tasks, and we could stalk other people on here, which is what I love doing. So Coro is someone that finished ahead of me, and he has Fire Sale. And that gives you access to so many big tasks. For example, 400 points for the Crystal Crown instantly as soon as they unlocked that area. Demonic Throne, 400 points. It gives you the Onyx instantly, or the Tazar gear instantly. Even stuff like this, it synergizes so well with Fremennik. Buying a gold sink, gilded portal, all that stuff, and not to mention you can just go bang out 50 million construction, which is actually crazy. He's got cooking, so it looks like he probably went for Production Master over Trickster, which again probably was the play for the tier 8 rush. So Corey went Elf, Fremennik, and Wilderness, and then Barry Hall is the other person that beat me. Elf, Fremennik, and Kandarin. So Elf and Fremennik they're just really insane. It's a weird conundrum I have with the Trailblazer format, choosing the areas. The problem with it being so permanent, do you choose them for the tier 8 rush, which I care a fair amount about in terms of like getting videos out and competing and stuff? Do you choose them with long-term competition in mind? So someone like Mazar, for example, really looks at the macro game, adds up all the amount of tasks you can do in each region, and then picks based on that, because eventually you do pretty much all the tasks, and they're not really balanced the same. I mean, in fairness to the J-mods, it would be pretty impossible to balance all these regions exactly, but the difference is quite big. With Kandarin, it's 9k points available. Zaya is 11k. I mean, I haven't really like looked too deep into it, but even in Taronwyn, right? I think it's 9k, and then still so many of the tasks are locked behind other areas. Like, for example, you can't complete the Zulrah combat achievements because you need to cast Vengeance. So there's 400 points in the bin. I don't know. I think I just have a bit of a unique opinion on it because I essentially want to try and do everything, which is why I enjoyed Shattered Relics a lot more, because I could compete to try and get the first of all relics unlocked. I could stay competitive for a bit longer because I wasn't locked out of good point areas because I hadn't chosen the right areas. And then even at the end, I could go and try and compete for XP because everyone had the same relics. So for me, that format works so much better in terms of my enjoyment for like YouTube and all that sort of thing. But I get why Trailblazer is the superior format for the general player base, but I think people are always surprised when I say that I actually enjoyed Shattered Relics League the most out of all the leagues. But it's because of that, because I can decide to do different things at different times. When I have to choose my areas and lock in my relics permanently, I'm essentially trying to choose what exactly I want to achieve. And then inevitably I have to choose fun, which optimizes for YouTube, but it's at the expense of competitiveness. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah. But like I said in the tips and tricks video I made, it's about doing the content you enjoy. And I really wanted to pick Tyrannwyn. I just don't know why. I just had a leaning to that one. That was my one that I wanted. But oh my God, all the announcements of the relic teasers and all that stuff beforehand, it just kept making Tyrannwyn worse and worse and worse and worse. Originally, I wanted to do range. I wanted to range with Desert, Tyrannwyn, and Zaya. So DTZ. And that was before they announced anything at all. I wanted to be a Botha wielder and go around smashing up everything. And I was sticking with that combo for ages in my head. But I think it was literally the day before I decided I was going to switch up to Mage. Range with those regions would have just been too bad to compete. So I had to make the decision. And then Kandarin Desert just have really good synergy for Mage. And then the last one is basically a free pick, which is why I went for Elf in the end. And I don't regret it. I've really enjoyed Tyrannwyn so far. Barely anyone's picked it as well, so it's super good for YouTube because nobody's hit it. And I can't lie, that does factor into my decision making for the areas because I want to show you different sort of tasks to everyone else. Having said that, I do regret picking Kandarin, to be honest. I picked it because the Occult and the Tormented Bracelet, but realistically, everyone's damage is so insane and it doesn't really matter too much. And I should have picked Zaya instead of stuck with my original regions, but I was a silly boy. And I got the bright lights, the 50% magic damage bonus just blinded me. But yeah, what can you do now? That's just one of the perks of Trailblazer. Even though I'm slightly sad about how strong Fire Sale was, for the future though, I am very happy with Banker's Note. It's pure cope, bro. It's gonna get good. But it really will get good. It gives you the opportunity to do things that are impossible in normal RuneScape. In normal RuneScape, you can have infinite GP. And if something gives you the option to do something new and incredible, then I'm normally down to pick that relic. That's my general mantra when picking, because I find that to be the most fun. So on to the next tier. Yep, Mage. Literally decided the day before it dropped, I was switching to Mage from range. I never considered melee because I did melee last Trailblazer. That's the thing as well with my regions. I didn't want to pick Kandarin because I did it in the previous Trailblazer. I did Kandarin, Fremennik, and Mauritania. So I was dead set against doing any repeating because I want to have the most fun possible. But then I picked Kandarin again. Then in tier 5 we have Treasure Seeker, Bloodthirsty, and Infernal Gathering. Now this tier is honestly so weak in comparison to everything. Bloodthirsty, I don't know, it's a bit of a trap because of all the passives from other Slayer. I haven't been watching what other people have been doing too much, but I get the general gist that the vast majority of people went Treasure Seeker because it is so much better for points. And Infernal Gathering's decent, but if you have plans to take Manipulate, it's literally useless. And all the production skills are really quick anyway, so I wouldn't have benefited off that. Bloodthirsty, yeah, no regrets whatsoever. Treasure Seeker is definitely good. But yeah, the treasure relic was glitched, which was crazy. I think it was either was the third person to that relic tier, and I picked it without knowing, and I didn't do any clue scrolls, so I didn't get to experience the glitch at all. But I was watching Bodhi on stream just spam opening caskets, and then he just kept on clicking them, bro. And that was a weird time, because obviously the high scores were just full of people that had spammed caskets. So I was like, well, damn, there goes a rank 1, etc. But Giants they removed people, they banned people, they removed points. I'm not sure what they did in the end. So rip to those guys, I guess. But no, I didn't partake in that bug. I did do a little bit of Soul Wars when that was bugged, but I think I got 1 million prayer XP from it. But basically everyone did that. And I think some people really hard abused it. So if you don't know, there's a cap in the main game of 1 mil Soul Wars XP per day. It was calculating the 1 mil at the amount of XP you'd get pre-multiplier. And the multiplier wasn't working correctly, so it got multiplied twice, which just meant that in 1 XP drop, you could select effectively 1 mil's main game experience. Well, maybe that's not even possible, I'm not sure. And then just get that, and then the league multiplier applies twice, and bam, you got 99 something. So that could easily have happened. I didn't do it. I don't know if other people did, but yeah, there's another little bug in there. Then tier 6, I'm sad I don't get to play with the Ruinous Powers, but the DPS increase really isn't a lot for my build, especially when you consider tier 7, and that's the thoughts I had going into this decision. Was the next tier I get Berserker, which if you lower your hit points to 1, you literally get 40% more damage. Ruinous Powers is like 5% more damage or something on Mage. It's really not that significant whatsoever, because you just kill everything so quick anyway in this game. So I ended up going Farmer's Fortune. Once again, it's one of those where it's a completely different experience on the league to the main game. You can never plant a seed and it instantly grows, and all the subsequent benefits that gets. And I also took Equilibrium in the last league, and I'll be honest, I barely noticed it. It's like getting you some extra XP here and there. It's pretty boring in my opinion. I don't think there are too many methods where it becomes like, oh wow, it's all of a sudden OP. It's, not too interesting. The farming relics are also another reason why I really regret picking Kanda instead of Zaya, because with the Zaya, if you're in Zaya, you should absolutely pick the farming one, by the way. Like, no questions asked, because you can go around just instantly completing all the farming contracts, instantly do all the tier farm points. That would have sped up everything so much. So yeah, regrets over not picking Zaya for sure, especially when it comes to that relic. So that's how I got to the decision of Farmer's Fortune. And then the next tier was an absolute no-brainer for me. Berserker, even without like the glitchy functionality of it working where it does 2 max hits at the start of every monster, which I feel like they might end up patching that, because that is crazy good, and it just means that this is so much better than every single other option on this tier, in my opinion. So yeah, this is just insane, bro. I couldn't imagine picking the other two. I barely even know what they do. One of the problems with Weapon Master, even if you're melee or range, is that you have to continually click the spec bar with it, and it just makes everything so high APM. Like, so you're constantly clicking, eating, doing everything, and you've got to have some chill time in the league. That's a big philosophy I have, and it's another reason why I hate stuff like Production Prodigy, because you're taking away a lot of chill time where you get to think, where you get to AFK, where I get to do videos, do other stuff on the side. So yeah, you've got to consider, like, you'll be fatigued using this. I haven't actually watched anyone else's videos, so I don't know what it's like. But yeah, Weapons Master sounded crazy when we first heard about it, but Berserker for me, all day, every day. Then I think the last tier out of all of them probably has the best balancing, and it's definitely an interesting decision. Guardian is just plus 10 DPS. It's a Thrall. I didn't pick that because it was just going to be not interesting, even though it's still pretty good. Undying Retribution doesn't do a crazy amount for your DPS, but what it does do is save you from dying, which is why I ended up choosing it, because the amount of times that, like, I'm decent at PVM, but I'm sure everyone can relate. I'm just a bit mistake prone. Say I get to the end of a TOA and I die, that's 30 minutes in the bin. Like, think about the amount of DPS increase from something else you'd have to take to make up for 30 minutes of time, which is incredible. And that's why I ended up picking it. Also, it might be really good for some AFK strats with bossing and all that sort of stuff. So, always a big fan of that one. And it's got pretty interesting functionality. It's not like you can do that on the main game. You can use a thrall on the main game, so Guardian was never going to be picked by me. Executioner, interesting, definitely. Very, very cool. But on balance with my regions, I just don't think I had enough things to kill with very high hit points. In TOA, yeah, it's great. I can't use it in Gauntlet. It's not very good at Zora, really. There's barely anything that I'd use it on in Kandarin, so it's just Tombs of a Mascot would be the main place I use that. If I had Nex and then more raids, then I possibly would have considered Executioner here. But yeah, like in this tier, I don't think there's not a bad choice you can make. So yeah, what else happened? So I actually got all relics on the Friday at 9 PM UK time, which is 57 hours after the release. And I slept for 5 hours one time. So, yeah, that's pretty horrible. Obviously, a lot of that playtime is really inefficient because I was making videos as well. I had to make 2 videos because I didn't make the third one. I actually got tier 8 before I released and made my third video, which was pretty brutal. I had to get this video out for Factor on that day. So, I got all the way to tier 8. I wanted to be competitive. I wanted to win. And didn't win. Got tier 8, and then I had to edit that entire video. I decided to split it into 2 because I just had so much content. And then, yeah, oh god, editing that was a nightmare. I was basically just micro sleeping at my desk the whole time. So, yeah, it takes about so that was about 50 hours of gameplay with a lot of AFKing in there to get all relics. I feel like that's way too fast. I wish it took a lot longer than that. I just think we're so powerful this league. It's actually incredible. Like, at this point in time, don't get me wrong, I'm still enjoying the game mode a lot, but being able to progress to future tiers of something is what I find really fun. And I think it's a shame that ended in essentially 2 days for me. I mean, I know I don't have to play 24/7, but you know what I mean? I don't know. I also thought it was going to take a lot longer than it did to get all relics. In hindsight, I might have chosen Fire Sale if I knew it was going to take 50 hours, for example. But I thought with it being 24k points, it would take longer than it did, but I guess it just didn't. Another thing I wanted to talk about was I'm actually so sad I'm not playing on SoloMission. I'm playing on Pure Mission. I wish there was a way to safely transfer a name or something like that. Pure Mission, it just doesn't look the same, man. For those of you that don't know, there was an issue on the launch of the servers with Jagex accounts where you couldn't log in on a Jagex account for ages. I sat there waiting because SoloMission's a Jagex account. This account isn't. I don't know why. I literally made SoloMission a Jagex account the day before because you had to do it for. There was some reason that it sounded like you had to do it. I can't remember the reason why. I think it was to get that random event. I was like, I might miss out on the Vampire XP random event if I don't have a Jagex account. So I made one, and then on the day of release, I couldn't even log in for the first 20 minutes. Well, it would have been longer than that. So I waited 20 minutes. I was literally watching streamers play for 20 minutes. I was like, I obviously wanted to try and get rank 1 at some point, right? So I was like, I'm just going to have to log in on a different account. And then I just sent it because I could have been sat there waiting for 2 hours for it to come online or something. I'm not sure how long it took in the end, but yeah, we're on Pure Mission. So I don't have all my pets. I had a bit of enthusiasm beforehand. I know last league I made a video saying I wanted to try and get as many pets as possible on the league over the course of 5 years or whatever. And I genuinely did want more pets. And so I'm a bit stuck on that. I can't really. There's no point going for pets on this account because it's literally a different account. Also, when I get a trophy, it's not going to be on SoloMission. So, say even if I got Dragon Rank on Pure Mission, it's going to be on Pure Mission. It's not on SoloMission. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm considering maybe. I think the Trailblazer League is going to go super quick, and I'm going to run out of things to do after a month. I can't lie. The progression seems insane pace right now. So I'm considering maybe doing a second series on SoloMission. But I don't know. It depends how congruent that is with YouTube success, which is like my main driver, really. So we'll see about that. But yeah, it's just frustrating. I'm on this account. It's annoying. I also wanted to AFK this account on the main game, but it is what it is. I'm really looking forward to the next few days. I've got big plans. Obviously, I'm going to lead up to go to Tombs of a Mascot. They have special modes there. They have a special challenge on the Jad challenge as well. So never seen before content is coming up. And of course, I haven't even used my tier 8 relic yet. And that is something completely different to normal RuneScape. So I'm excited for that. If you did enjoy this video, we're on the second channel right now, if you haven't noticed, Mission Solo. So subscribe. I've been slacking on this channel. I normally put lower effort content on here and rambles and all the rest of it. So if you did enjoy, subscribe. Tell your friends that they can watch some nonsense over here as well. And if I do a second series on Trailblazer, I probably will upload it to this channel. We'll see though. Anyway, I've had way too much relaxing today. I've basically taken today off, so it's time to get back to grinding. You can expect videos every day for the next few days on the main channel. If you're not up to date somehow, go and watch them. I was about to say they're good, but I made them with no sleep, so they're probably terrible. But yeah, bye.